Hey, Danielle K. Howell here, and I want to thank you for coming on today's Get Unstuck webinar. I'm so glad to have you here, and today I'm going to be talking about how to get unstuck. So hopefully you've gotten access to my Get Unstuck blueprint in the ebook that I created, and you kind of got to have an idea of my backstory and where I've been, and the things that I've been through, and the people that I know that have been through things. And this webinar, is only for women. This is a webinar that's going to help you to create your best life. Now, I can't go into, how to do all that stuff in just 1 hour for about an hour that I'm going to be here. But what I want to stress to you today is that you can live your best life. Oprah Winfrey has always said that, right? Olive Van Zant, I really you say her name. She says that, right? What is that other lady's name? I can't think of her right off the bat. I got her picture in my head, but I can't think of her name. But these are these people, these powerful women who believe in having your best life. And a lot of times, guess what you have to do? Guess what you have to do if you want to live your best life, if you want to attract more prosperity in your life, attract more abundance in your life? Guess what you have to do? You have to remove toxicity, remove anything that's not serving you. Get away from people who, don't believe in your dreams, right? And a lot of times, the people who become powerful and successful and giving and abundant and prosperous, these are the same people who have been through the ringer. They've been through the mud. They have been through so many trials and tribulations in their lives, and now they've surrendered. They've surrendered to a higher power, and they understand that they go through these things just to come out on the other side bigger, better, more powerful, and to help others become their, best self as well. And this is my mission. This is my mission. I started out in the industry of online marketing, where I was teaching people. I started out in network marketing, then I went to online marketing, learning how to generate leads for a business, affiliate marketing, and things like that, right? So I spent a lot of time on the internet and, showing people how to create leads and how to turn those leads into sales and, how to grow their businesses. And I've helped people all around the world do this. I've helped people with e-commerce and all these things. And so this has been my business for the last 3.5 years. And it was laid on my heart, right, to help people, not just to learn how to generate leads, learn how to make cash flow, but also learn how to get rid of things. Because a lot of times we don't create the money that we want. We don't create the business that we want. We don't create the relationships that we want. We don't create the freedom that we want because we're stuck. We're stuck. We're stuck in a rut, right? We're stuck in a rut. And so, I wanted to have something where I could help women, because I know, us as women, a lot of the times we are struggling because of past experiences. So you have to learn how to deal with the past if you are going to create an abundant future. That's just how it works. You can't expect to create something new if you continue to go over and over and over doing the same old thing over and over again. It just doesn't work. You have to learn that you have to get rid. You have to face your demons. You have to face yourself. You have to look yourself in the eye and be real with yourself and be honest with yourself and be open with yourself, right? And this is the things that I've learned. And when I was able to do that, I had to remove a lot of things from my life. Now, once I removed them, did I have feelings of regret? Man, should I have removed that? Was that a good move? Of course, because anything that's new is going to be hard, right? It's not easy. What's the easiest thing to do is to stay where you are, to stay in that same cyclical, position where everything is just always the same, always every day. The hardest thing to do is to literally, step out on faith and do something different. But when you do that, right? Yes, it'll be tough. It'll be tough because you're trying to find your way in a world that seems new to you, right? But if you can do that, and if you can allow yourself to create something new, so that you don't have to go back to your old habits, go back to your old ways. You will start to realize, and you will start to manifest something really, really great. That's what happened to me. Okay, that's what happened to me. I've had lots of, I want to say bad experiences in the past, but then again, there are no bad and there are no good, right? It's just experiences. You can put labels on them if you want, but you don't need to. You don't need to put labels on them. All you need to do is understand that this happened. And this is what it is, right? So it doesn't matter if you were abused. I was abused as a child. My parents was very abusive, physically and emotionally and verbally, right? And so when I was young, I kind of, attached myself to that abuse, right? And that's what a lot of people do. We attach ourselves, even if you are not cognizant of it. It's happening. Trust me. And it's only if you heal that wound that you can go on to do, to become better. Or you can, so there are two types of people, right? People that continue to do the same thing and let their past dictate their future, right? So an abused person will turn out to be an abuser, right? Most times. Or you can take that pain, right? And then you're too nice. Right? You're too nice. You don't like any strife. You don't like any, any anger or anything like that. But anger is is an emotion that you have to know how to deal with. You have to let out your anger. There's just different ways to do it. But holding it inside and, being an enabler or being passive aggressive and things like that. And these are the things that this is the stuff of things that I dealt with. And I had to look at myself and say, hey, am I being an enabler? Right? Am I in an abusive relationship? And am I in a place where I am being too lenient and getting my power taken away? Right? Because again, you were creating cycles. You're recreating cycles. So this is one of the things that you don't want to do when you are trying to move forward in your life. There'll be many obstacles. There'll be many things in your way, but you want to learn how to create something that is substantial. So on this webinar, I'm going to give you three tips that you can use in your life if you're feeling stuck. The most important thing, I think one of the biggest things where people feel stuck is in their finances. Right? Would you agree? I would say, 95% of the people who say, oh my gosh, I feel so stuck, is because they are broke, right? They feel like they're broke. I remember feeling like, I was broke back in 2014. Like, I was in debt. It was just a recurring cycle over and over again. And so I had to do something different. And so one of the things that I did was I started to talk to myself, right? So affirmations. So the number one thing that you want to do is you want to start creating affirmations for yourself. You want to start telling yourself how great you are. You want to start believing some great things about yourself. You want to start telling yourself that you can do and you are amazing, right? You can do amazing things, that you are amazing. You want to start telling yourself that money flows to you easily and effortlessly, right? Each and every day. You want to tell yourself that you let money come to you. You don't have to work hard for money, right? You want to continue to say, I am a money magnet. So when you're doing affirmations, one of the things that you don't want to do, you don't want to say negative affirmations. For instance, you don't want to say, I'm not broke, right? You don't want to say that, or I'm not, whatever. You don't want to say anything like I'm not, or usually that's, if you want to say, instead of saying I am, people will say I'm not, right? You want to get away from the negative affirmation. So anything that you want to say, if you want to talk about being broke, don't say the word broke. I am abundant, right? I am prosperous. Money flows to me easily and effortlessly each and every day. Each and every day, I'm getting better and better, right? So you want to kind of say these things to yourself and write them down. There have been times when I've written down my affirmations and I felt them, because, energy is everything. If you were on my webinar the other day, yesterday, I talked about energy and how energy is everything. Everything that we are, everything that we do is energy, right? We can attract good energy or we can attract bad energy. We can exude good energy or we can exude bad energy, right? Negative energy, not bad, but negative. So we can exude positive positive energy or negative energy, right? So these are one of the things that you want to do. You must do affirmations. I think it's a necessity to empower yourself with empowering words, because if you don't believe your words, how can you expect someone else to believe you? How can you expect to move on confidently if you cannot tell yourself something great about yourself, right? So I encourage you to look in the mirror and talk to yourself. Tell yourself how great you are, how awesome you are, how beautiful you are, how magnificent you are, how creative you are, right? These are the things that you want to continue to say to yourself so that you can start to absorb it and believe it. Now, initially, especially if you're in a really bad situation, you may not believe it. Right. I remember when I first started saying my affirmations, it sounded silly to me at first. And, I would write them down first. And then I started reciting them. And, I never really wanted to say it out loud. I was reciting in my head. And then I started reciting them out loud. And when I started reciting them out loud, I got a certain feeling about it. And I started looking at myself in my bathroom mirror and started saying affirmations to myself, right? So these are the things that you want to do if you want to move forward and get the feeling of being unstuck, right? And so that's number one. Number two thing is that you have to be aware of your energy. Your energy is everything. So a lot of times we ruminate on past things, someone that made us upset, someone that made us angry. Again, that's being stuck emotionally, right? And anger and sadness, depression, all that stuff is emotions. So it's one thing to let it out, right? If you're angry, then go scream in a pillow. If you're angry, just don't punch anybody, don't kill anybody. But just admit to yourself, I'm angry. Like I'm so angry. I'm so upset, right? One of the things that I have no problem with is crying. Like if I cry when I'm angry, I'm crying. Well, I don't cry when I kind of scream when I'm angry, but I cry when I'm feeling a certain way. So I don't hold back my emotions. I don't judge my emotions, right? I let it out. So you have to be aware of your energy. So if you're attracting a lot of negative people to you, you may be exuding negative energy. You may have a negative energy about you that are bringing negative situations into your life because you attract who you are. Remember that. That is the law of attraction. You attract who you are. Like attracts like, right? So you want to be aware of your energy at all costs every day. When you wake up in the morning, on my webinar yesterday, I talked about, having that attitude of gratitude and that abundance mindset, right? So you want to kind of look at that and say, where are areas that I feel that my energy is lacking? Maybe you're drinking too much coffee. Right? I had to stop drinking coffee. Maybe you're not drinking enough water, right? I always talk about how I always have my water here, which is very important. Maybe you're not eating enough green vegetables, right? Maybe have some more salads in your life. Recently I started juicing much more than I used to. And juicing really gives you a lot of energy because you're getting all those phytonutrients and all that stuff. So you maybe want to start eating better, right? Maybe eliminate red meat for a while, because the red meat lowers your energy as well because you're taking on the energy of the animals. So these are the things that you want to think about. These are the things that you want to do when it comes to your energy. Energy is everything. Energy can bring the right things to you, or it can repel the things that you want from you. So you want to continue with taking care of your energy and making sure that you are being mindful of it. Okay, so that's number two. Number three is speaking your world into existence. Speaking your world into existence. Writing down your goals, basically. And verbalizing your goals. I had to work on this myself, writing down and verbalizing my goals. One of the things that I used to do, I always, I never had a problem writing things down, but it's verbalizing. Why? Because your speech, everything that goes out of your mouth, you are creating, because ultimately you are a creator. Okay. Never forget that you are creating. You're creating your reality right now. Every thought, every word, you are creating it. So you want to be mindful of your speech. And so you want to speak your world into existence. It's powerful. And sometimes it may take you about, 30 days or maybe even 90 days to start seeing some results from what you're speaking. But when you start to do this on a consistent basis, and I would say daily, right? Every day, every morning, or every night, just write down and say what it is that you want. right? Don't leave anything out. I don't care how big it is. I don't care, how grandiose it is. Go ahead and write down what you want and speak it out. Speak it out loud. We have no problem speaking about the things that we don't want, right? We have no problems talking about, this and that, things that don't serve us. But when it comes to things that serve us, why do we have such a difficult time talking about it and saying it? And I'm not talking about saying it to your friends and your family members. I'm talking about saying it to you, to yourself, in a personal setting, privately. Don't put your stuff out there for others. Speak what you want out into the world, but do it privately, so that you can realize that you are everything that you speak, right? You're manifesting it. You're manifesting everything that you speak every day, every single day. So, I had somebody that said that she was, I had a conversation with somebody one time, and she was telling me how she sets money aside for a rainy day. She was like, you know why? Because stuff always gets broken. Either it's my refrigerator or whatever. And she started to tell me how things that she's really adamant about saving money for a rainy day. And she says, you know what? She's like, I'm so glad that I saved this money, because every time I save it, something breaks. So basically, she was saying this, but she doesn't even realize that she's speaking those broken things into her life, right? And she's preparing for it. Now, there's nothing bad to say, that she shouldn't prepare for things, but she was expecting it to happen. She was expecting it to happen. So guess what? It did happen each and every time. And she confirmed to herself. She said, I'm so glad I do it, because each and every time I save that money, something always breaks. Now, if that's not speaking your world into existence, I don't know what is, right? So, so she does that, and she's happy when, things break, because now she has the money to pay for it, because she set that money aside. Now, what would happen if she didn't set that money aside? And if she didn't think that anything would break? Would things not break? I don't know. But one thing I do know is that she's expecting things to break, and she's, treating her life as if things are going to break. So they're breaking, right? And she's preparing for it. So, these things, you may not think these things are big, but I'm telling you, they are really, really big. They're really, it's a really big deal when you can put your attentions out there in the universe, and you see things come back to you, right? It's just something that happens. It happens whether you want it to or not. It just is what it is. And the fourth thing, I don't know if I said I was going to do 3 things or 5 things, but we're going to do 5. The fourth thing that I want you to be mindful of is having that attitude of gratitude, right? Attitude of gratitude. When you are grateful for what you have, no matter what you've been through, no matter how much pain you've endured, no matter how many disappointments and broken promises and broken relationships and, bad health, all that stuff, right? You want to make sure that you are still thankful. Why? Because you're still here. You're still here, and you still have another time, another opportunity to move forward and get things right, and to live life. I know a lady that has had multiple surgeries, and she's still always smiling, always happy, and then you say to yourself, man, if I went through what she went through, I don't know if I could be as happy as she is, but she's happy-go-lucky. You never see her upset. She's just thankful. She's thankful that she came through all of her surgeries successfully, right? So to think of life like that, and I mean, she's had some doozy of surgeries, things that, people will probably die on a table with. She's come through it. And, she's a very small person. And I'm like, wow, her body can handle so much. You'd be surprised what the body can handle if the mind is right? The mind is everything. The mind can make you or break you. I was watching this video today. I think his name is Prince something. I don't know. He's on Facebook, and he talked about the fact that, people will floss and brush their teeth every day, right? Oral hygiene is so important. It's so important. But what about mental hygiene, right? Mental hygiene. There are so many people who have mental disorders, right? And it's affecting the world, really, right? So he's like, what would you rather have? Teeth? Or would you rather have better teeth or better mental health, better oral health or better mental health? And he's like, I bet you'd be a teethless so-and-so if if your mind was good, right? That's all that really matters. Stephen Hawking, he just passed away not too long ago. Brilliant man, right? The smartest man in the world, they called him. And, you know, he couldn't walk. He couldn't do any of that stuff, but he had his brilliant mind. His mind helped him to become, you know, very, very, very smart, you know, and people all over the world knew who Stephen Hawking was. Well, I didn't know a few years ago until my son told me about him. And then I looked at him, I'm like, wow, he's something special. You know, so your mind can play tricks on you, or it can do you harm, or it can help you. So, but when you have that attitude of gratitude, you are immediately bringing your mind back to the present, and you are thanking, you know, your higher power for the things that you have, the things that you've acquired, whether it's knowledge, whether it's skills, whether it's just, you know, being, right? This is all the things that you've acquired here in this lifetime. And so you've got to be thankful for it. Otherwise, guess what? It'll be taken away. It'll be taken away. You know, so that's number 4. You got to have an attitude of gratitude each and every day. You have to be mindful of that. You got to wake up in the morning and just say thank you. Even if your back hurts, if your knees hurt, you know, you got arthritis, whatever. Be thankful. Be thankful. Put that in your mind, because when you do that, things in your life will change. It will change, and you'll start seeing things for the good as opposed to, you know, the bad, right? And the 5th and last thing I want to talk about is how to create your special space, right? You have to have a special space for prayers and meditations, and, you know, just being in the present moment. Because again, if you are trying to get unstuck from something or some kind of experiences or anything that you've experienced, you're going to have to be able to be in the present moment. Because if you're not in the present, that means you're living in the past or you're living in the future, right? You got to be present. There is no other time but right now. That's the only time that there is. So when you are have your little sacred space, what I like to call it, and you're doing your affirmations, and you have that attitude of gratitude, and you are living in the moment as opposed to living in the past or the future, you can then create something great. Again, all of these things go together to create something great, because if you don't create your own space, right, a space that is off limits to anybody else, right? This is my space, and don't come into my space, because this is the space where I used to create, right? I have a space where I sit down, and it's near my bed in my room, and I sit down and I journal and I do my prayers and my meditation, and, you know, I even light some candles, and I'm just like there in the present moment, you know, and I'm thankful, I'm grateful, you know, removing myself from anything that doesn't serve me at that moment. Now, when I come out, there's probably things around me that's going to be, you know, all over the place. But for that moment, for how long I'm there, usually about a half hour to an hour sometimes, and I'm reading my book, and, you know, I'm just really, really focused on the present moment. I'm journaling, right? I'm journaling my thoughts, and I am putting out my positive energy, and I am thinking of the things that is positive. I'm doing my affirmations, all of that stuff. So, you know, when I started doing that on a regular basis, I just started feeling so much better. You know, when I woke up in the morning, when I went throughout my day was better. Everything was better, everything. And so, you know, I make it a point to do that. And then after that, of course, you know, my next webinar, I'm going to talk about eating healthy and things like that, because this is very important. This is really, really, really important stuff if you want to get unstuck. If you want to get unstuck from, you know, the mindset thing, the thing that doesn't serve you, you know, going over and over in your mind about things. And I have, you know, I mean, I'm guilty of that as well. It's not like my mind doesn't go to the left sometimes. Yes, it does. It does not mean that, you know, you're not going to have some moments of emotions. No, that's not what it means. It just means that you understand what you're going through, but you know, when things are not right, that you have to remove it from your life. When things are toxic, you have to remove it from your life. When things are not serving you, you have to remove it from your life. And you have to learn to let things go, right? Let it go. Let it go and let it flow. And when you learn to do that, things will just start to move naturally. So many times we want to force things. We can't force things. We can't force it to happen. We have to let the invisible, right, move for us. We have to be able to be calm and be still and let things move for us. And that's how we attract better things in our lives. When we are, going back to that energy, when we are mindful of our energy, when we can do these things, when we have, the confidence to talk to ourselves and to create something, whether it's a written word. Like, one of the things that I believe is really, really great for women is to start writing, right? Start writing down your thoughts, your fears, your emotions, so that you can connect with it, right? And when you connect with it, you can learn how to deal with it, right? This is one of the things that I've done in my life, in my journey, because there were many instances in my life where I felt stuck, right? And if you want to make more, let's say, for instance, you want to make more money. So what do you do, right? What do you do? One of the things, like I always say, one of my mentors always said this, was that money is just an idea. Money is just an idea. Money is just an idea, right? And so when you know that, and you can create something that you can sell, right? And that's why I love entrepreneurship, because you can always create something that you can sell. And when you can create, you can sell something and you can make money. But guess what? First of all, you have to do those other things, the invisible things, so that you can have that confidence, so that you can have that part of, I can't right now. My daughter's asking me a question. I can't do that right now. So that you ask Maddie. So that you can create something that is going to help you move from where you are, let's say you're stuck financially, to where you want to be, right? Where you want to be. So these are the things you must do, ladies, if you want to move in the right way, if you want to move from where you are to where you want to go. But first you have to ask yourself, where do I want to go, right? Where do I want to go? What is it that I want to do? Who do I want to be? What kind of person do I want to attract? What kind of situations do I want to attract? You got to know what you want before you can get it. Otherwise, if you don't know what you want, you're going to end up getting anything. So you got to know what you want, and you got to write these things down and say them aloud. Say them aloud. Say them aloud. And I believe, going back to how we can be stuck in the first place, it comes usually from childhood. I just wrote an ebook on this topic. This is going to be a series that I'm going to be doing very, very frequently, this Get Unstuck series. I just wrote an Unstuck ebook, highlighting a lot of things in my past as childhood, and that I can, I equate it to my adulthood, right? As a young girl growing up, and with an abusive father, and my mother passing away at a young age, it affected me. It affected me in a lot of ways. And so I was drawn to the wrong people, the wrong situations. I got involved in the wrong type of relationships, things that were not particularly ideal, right? And so, but I had to look and see, what was it? But it wasn't until I removed myself from certain situations. And each situation, I saw a little bit more, right? Each situation, I saw a little bit more that made me think, this is why I'm here where I am, right? It wasn't that person's fault. It's my fault, but I don't want to blame myself. But I have to understand that this is how I'm operating from this frequency, and this is why I'm attracting this type of person, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Because when you can understand yourself, and when you can understand, your highs and lows and your moods and your all this stuff and your energy, remember I talked about energy, you can then go on to create better stuff in your life. Right? You can go on to create better stuff in your life, no matter what it is, but you have to take responsibility for it. A lot of times, and even I did this myself, if I'm in a relationship or wherever, it's always that person's fault, right? You did that. You did this. No, it's me. You can't change anybody but yourself. You have to take ownership of your part of it. My last, webinar, I talked about these two friends that didn't want to talk to each other, right? And they one of them came up with a high thyroid cancer, right? So these are the things, we have to be mindful of. Anything that we blame on someone else, guess what? It's staring right back at us. It's staring right back at us. Trust me. You call somebody a name, it's this. You are that person, right? You are that person. You are that person, right? If you think this person is a liar, guess what? You must be the liar. If you think this person is wrong, you are wrong because there is no other person. It's only you. You meet no one but you. This is something that my spiritual mentor taught me. And everywhere you go, you meet yourself. You meet yourself. And that's a hard pill to swallow, to think that, all the bitter people that you meet, or all the mean people that you meet, or all the conniving, manipulative, all the stuff people that you meet, that they are like you. These are the things, these are the attributes that you have in yourself. That's deep. That's deep. So that's why when you start attracting great people into your life, guess what? When you can see the light in them, when you can see the beauty in them, or like the beauty in the relationships, or beauty in your home and beauty in nature, guess what? Now you're seeing the beauty in what? Yourself. Yourself. Up north right now, as I'm here, I think they're having a snowstorm up north. I'm down here in Florida, down in the south. So it's been very hot here. I was even at the beach the other day. And so, one of the things that I realized is that people, they complain when it's cold, right? They complain, oh my gosh, I'm tired of the snow. I hate it. Da, 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 da. But then when summer comes, they complain when it's hot. They complain when it's hot. So it's like, okay, why are you always complaining? Just take the seasons as they come. And, I love to say I love living here in Florida. I love it. I love the weather. I love it. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I have nothing to complain about. Not even when on the coolest days, I have nothing to complain about. And I choose not to complain. I choose not to complain. And the more I'm thankful for this weather, the more beautiful I see it. I hear the birds. I literally hear them. It's a blessing. So these are the things that you have to know. You have to be mindful of. You have to understand. You have to get rid of certain mentalities. You have to get out of your own way, so to speak. Get out of your own way. Learn how to manifest your best life. Learn, affirmations. Learn how to do that stuff. Learn how to journal your thoughts, right? Learn how to speak your world into existence. Learn this stuff. Learn how to feel your energy to see if you're operating in a high vibrational energy or if you're operating in a low vibrational energy. Learn this stuff. Learn how to create that sacred space that is only for you, so that you're not always giving and giving and giving and giving and giving away your power, right? Giving away a part of you that you don't have. In order for you to help other people, and I meet a lot of women that want to help other people, but you have to fill your own cup first, right? You have to make sure your cup is full, because you can't give something away that you don't have. You can't give something away that you don't have. You have to have it first. So that's why when you wake up in the morning, even before you go to work, wake up maybe, a half hour earlier so that you can do these things. And these are the things that I'm going to be teaching on my 6-week workshop. I'm going to be teaching you all this stuff and so much more. I'm going to be teaching you, how to create all this stuff, for yourself, so that you can bring something great into your life. Your life may be great right now. Not to say that your life is not great, right? You probably have a great life, which is a blessing, but you probably want more. You want more so that you can do more, so that you can be more. Right? You want to be able to, have more. You want to be able to help more people. If you were on my webinar the other day, I talked about, your whole purpose in life here is to do great things, not just for yourself, but for other people, right? That's why we're here. Ultimately, that's why we're here. We're here to create something great for ourselves and for others. And on your screen, you probably see a link below my picture here. That is the link to my next 6-week workshop. It's going to be a 6-week called Get Unstuck workshop. And this workshop is going to give you all the tools, all the resources, all the strategies that you need in order to move from where you are right now, get rid of the past, get rid of the pain, and move to a more abundant, prosperous future. I'm going to teach you all about this stuff. I'm going to teach you how to create your sacred space. I'm going to teach you how to say those affirmations powerfully so that you can step into your best self and so that you can live your best life. I'm going to teach you even about business, right? A lot of you want to have a successful business, right? But you can't have a successful business if you don't treat yourself right. Trust me, I know. When I first started my business, remember I told you I was in a bad relationship, right? And we were fighting all the time. And so I was stuck. I was stuck in my business because it was just so much mental anguish. Remember, I talked about mental health and things like that. You have to be mentally prepared for business. You have to be. Otherwise, you're going to fail. And I failed in that business for 6 months. It wasn't until I had to literally make my own sacred space and go into that space so that I could create. But even then, it was tough. It was tough because I had to deal with some things, before and after I was doing my business, right? And a lot of it, again, was me, right? I can't say, oh, he did this. No, I say a toxic relationship. That meant me, right? Both of us. We would just mirror images of each other, and it didn't work, right? So these are the things I'm going to be teaching you on the workshop: how to get rid of past hurt, past pain. I don't know, molestation, if you've had that in your past, abuse. Child abuse is rampant. Especially back in my generation, it was like, just shut up. Kids are supposed to be seen and not heard, kind of thing, right? So you didn't get any respect as a child, and so those things can hinder you as well from moving forward. They just can. They are like, your most impressionable time on this earth is when you're a child, right? You're very impressionable. So the things that you hear and that you see comes from your parents and your teachers, most likely. And so those things can shape you and mold you. One of the things I remember is one of my teachers, Miss Denton. Like, she was one of my best teachers in the 4th grade. And before her, I didn't really like school. And when I met her, I was just like, wow, she was just a great lady all around. And I really liked her energy, and she really liked me, and she liked the way that I worked, and it just built my confidence up. She wanted to skip me from the 4th to the 6th grade. My parents didn't let her, but she suggested that. She saw how bright I was and how smart I was. Before that, I didn't think that I was, because I wasn't ever told that. So these are the things that, can hurt you, And if I would still be believing those beliefs, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I wouldn't be here standing in front of you or sitting in front of you telling you that you can do this. Because if I can do this, anybody can do this. If I can create my own business from home, anybody can do this. If I can move myself and my children from New York City on my own to Florida with nothing, nothing with me, you can do this, right? I mean, not to say that you want to do that, but I'm just telling you, you don't have to physically move. You can move your mindset. You can move your business. You can move everything about yourself. Right. So I'm going to be sharing that with you on the workshop. I'm going to be talking to you. And I'm only going to have a small group of women who are going to be a part of this, because this is only for women. This is not for men. This is only for women who want to be free, who want freedom, who want to say, Danielle, I want to do all of the stuff that I want to do in my life, but I just can't, because I feel like I can't get past my fears. I can't get past my self-esteem issues. I can't get past, all of these things. And I'm here to tell you that you can. That you can believe in yourself, that you can have everything you want, that you can do the things that you desire. You can. And yeah, you're going to hit some snafus. Yeah, you may, fail a little bit. But I'm telling you, once you learn these skills and these strategies, you'll be able to bounce back bigger and better than ever before. So my friends, if you are watching this webinar right now, either live or the replay, go ahead and click the link that you see below this video that just appeared on your screen. This will give you access to my 6-week workshop on how to get unstuck. It's only $297 for the whole entire 6 weeks. And you're going to have time with me personally. I'm going to give you my time. I'm going to give you some great strategies that I've learned through my NLP techniques. As you can see up here, I have an NLP certification. I have a life coaching certification. And I'm going to use all of these techniques that I've learned from my certification, from helping other people on a much lower scale. But this is going to be my best work ever, as I help to create breakthroughs That's really what I want. I want to help create breakthroughs. I've helped people create breakthroughs in their businesses. Now I want to help people create breakthroughs in their lives overall, which will include business as well if it's something that you want to do. But I think everyone needs to know a little bit about business skills so that they can create their own economy. That's something that I truly, truly believe in, because it's necessary. It's necessary, especially the day and age that we're living in. You've got to know how to create your own economy. You just do. So go ahead and click the link and get access to my 6-week workshop on how to get unstuck. You will be entered into my Facebook page. I'm still putting all this stuff together, so just give me. But you will get an email from me once you get started. It'll take you to a PayPal link, and that link will take you to the $297 checkout. Just check out, and after that, you will get an email from me welcoming you. I'm putting together the Facebook group. I'm putting together the membership site. I'm going to be recording lots of videos for you. We'll be meeting once a week on a live call with a community of like-minded women who are looking to become unstuck, just like you, right? You'll be able to look to the left and look to the right and see another woman just like you. Us women, we need to come together. We need to come together, because when we come together, it's powerful. It's a powerful, powerful thing to be with women. Us women, we have power within us, and we have to learn how to get it out of us so that we can change the world. We can literally change the world with the things that we know and the things that we possess as women. Our energy, our sex appeal, our compassion, our patience. Even if you feel like you have no patience, you do, because you're a woman. You probably just don't have patience because you've been scorned before and you become impatient. But I'm going to tell you all of these things that are, that are contrary to what the good book says you need to work on. And we're going to work on that. You should have patience. You should have compassion. You should have love, right? These are the things that you must have if you want to be free. All right. If you want to change yourself, if you want to change your life, if you want to change your world. So these are the things that I'm going to be working with you all on. I'm going to be, sharing this stuff with you. Let me just see if there's any questions here. I don't want to leave anybody out. I just want to answer any questions that you all may have. But I want to thank you all for coming on here and listening to this presentation. I want you to understand that I'm here as your mentor, as your coach. I've been an online success coach for almost 4 years now, and I've seen a lot. I've done a lot. I've come across a lot of women who start a business and they just don't know which way to go, right? You see this little plaque here says she believed she could, so she did, right? And that's what I'm all about. I'm about belief, belief in action. Belief in action. So if you want me to coach you to success in every area of your life, if you want to learn how to get unstuck, if you want to learn how to be that person of leadership and confidence and high self-esteem, and if you want to know how to get past the fear and the all the things that hold most people back, then go ahead and click the link below. Get access to my 6-week Get Unstuck workshop, and because I'm going to teach you all this stuff, and I look forward to seeing you in the workshop. All right, my friends, go ahead and click that link. This has been Danielle K. Howell, your online success coach from youronlinesuccesscoach.com. I want to thank you for attending. I will see you if you come on my next webinar. Each webinar will have different topics. So some of it may cross over a little bit, but for the most part, this is going to be a webinar that I'll be doing every day until we get started on April 15th. That's when the workshop starts, April 15th, 2018. And I look forward to seeing you get unstuck and helping you to achieve that. All right, my friends, have a wonderful, blessed day. Namaste, love and light, and I'll talk to you all soon. Take care.